Today is Friday, hooray, it's Friday. Hooray, it's Friday, today is Friday.
Hey everybody, guess what? It's Friday, man. I've been waiting on today. I'm ready for the weekend. God, it's been a long week. I'm tired of working. I'm ready for some rest and relaxation for a day or two.
Yeah, it has been crazy this week. News has been so heavy.
Yeah.
Every single morning we get up breaking news.
Yep.
Trying to fit it all in.
Doing this for most of all the morning, and then I got so much I got to do outside. I'm glad the time change has finally hit. I can get a little bit more done. But
Yeah.
Ironically enough, during the week after the time change and I had that extra hour, guess what? I still finished up early and coming. So I got to get myself into the time change now.
I know, we got to get motivated.
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of what's going on with me is in East Texas, it's been super, super windy. And I have horrible allergies. So I am over the pollen right now. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the show today. Please share the show with all your friends. Stomp that like button. Follow us everywhere you see our name. Is this thing working? And if you'd like to sign up for a newsletter to get show notes and what is coming up next, we're moving along pretty quick. So if you want to get all that information, then just sign up for a newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to substack.com/isthisthingworking. Thank you so much, because it's because of you that our show is growing, and it's growing pretty quickly.
And also, we're creating a merchandise line, which will end up being on our Shopify. Also, there'll be a link there on our page, too, for that.
Yes.
So be looking for our merchandise coming up. We're going to have all kinds of things.
Yes, we're excited. So, but everyone knows all week we have been playing a game, chess versus checkers. We've talked about the differences between them. We've moved pawns. We've knocked over a knight. And today we either king the pawn or call checkmate. What do you think it will be? Make sure you listen till the end to find out who we think won the week, Republicans or Democrats. But right now we're going to discuss two people who we know play chess.
On the daily.
Daily.
They never back away from chess.
They never do. And they stay on the offensive. And that's President Trump and Texas's Attorney General Ken Paxton.
And they're part of our breaking news for today.
That's it. Judge Scott McAfee has granted in part and denied in part the motion to disqualify Fulton County DA Fani Willis. Bottom line, either Willis steps aside along with her entire office or Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade withdraws. A decision must be made per McAfee. This is from Katie Fang on Twitter's thread. So I just wanted to shout out to her hat tip.
Yeah, and isn't that the most fence-riding, cowardly decision that you've ever seen?
Oh, that's the first thing I thought of was how cowardly.
Yeah, thing is, he spoke about the other day the appearance of impropriety between Wade and Willis, okay? Mm-hmm. And if we've looked throughout all of this, both of them have displayed an appearance of impropriety.
Yes, both of them have.
So what good are we doing by leaving one and taking out the other?
Well, the thing is it's anticipated that Willis will opt for Wade's dismissal, of course.
She
doesn't want to get rid of. She's the one that brought the case. She's the one that got elected because she's going after Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's a chess move with this too, and even maybe on McAfee's part is the fact that he's letting her know, hey, you've brought a bad case. You've sat here in this hearing and you've admitted to all of this impropriety. You've lied your way through it, even when you've been caught at it. So she's in a pickle now. She can bring her bad case and keep her staff and bring her bad case and lose this anyway.
Yeah.
Or she can back out and fire all of her staff and face the ire and the irateness of those people.
You know what, though? She's now been publicly humiliated and disgraced.
Yep.
Her ethical and legal problems, they're only just beginning.
Hey, man.
You think this is the first lawsuit that's fixing to happen? I'm not at all confident she will try this case versus Trump. She herself might just decide, maybe I need to step out. because she's fixing to be investigated. And to get Wade off this case is going to be a superhuman defeat of defense, man. I mean, how is she going to tell him, oh, lover, come on. You have to not do this now. The judge ordered it.
I think she drops him like a rock, man, tell you the truth.
I mean, they've both been outed as a liar and schemers.
Yeah.
So even if she tried to get a jury or any of that, it's all over the place. People are not going to take her seriously. But you know what? I'm just going to say this. Team Trump is in a much better shape today than they were 3 months ago. This is a chess move.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure President Trump didn't think this was going to go anywhere, but guess what it did? It kept it in front of you. And man, was it a huge deal. We all watched it. We all watched the hearings. She made a complete fool of herself. Total fool of herself.
And that's the only reason that I think that maybe maybe that's his thinking with this, is she already has made a fool of herself. Let her go ahead and finish the job.
That's it. That's probably what he's thinking. So, and then what was so crazy, what I think is, anyway, is during all of this, while we're waiting on this judge to give this crazy ruling right here, Georgia, this case that is brought up against President Trump, they dropped 6 charges. Remember that perfect phone call Trump made to Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger?
Yeah.
Okay, so he said, so look, this is the phone call. So look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have because we won the state. Adding that, there's no way I lost Georgia. There's no way. We won by hundreds of thousands of votes.
And so the case is being that what he done was he used his office and his authority and asked the Secretary of State to willfully violate a law. That's what they're trying to say, correct?
Yes.
If you look at what his statement said right there, I could beat that case even just based on that statement right there. He goes, so look, all I want to do is this. I want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have. Okay? Think about this. That's all he's saying is his desires. Man, I really would like to see us have those. He didn't never tell
to go out and count 1,780 votes and stick them over Biden votes and stick them to him.
Exactly. He wasn't asking him to do that. All he was doing was expressing a desire. Man, look, all I want to do is find some votes. He never said, you go out and find them.
That's exactly right. It was a perfect phone call. And there was nothing wrong with what he said. It is not illegal to make a phone call and to have a conversation about stuff that needs to be done. But what gets me is Judge McAfee. Okay, this is the same judge who just came out and ruled against Fannie, or for Fannie. Well, for Fannie to fire her lover or herself, whichever one. But then he goes on and he says, in this ruling, okay, now think of this, the same judge. The court's concern is less that the state has failed to allege sufficient conduct of the defendants. In fact, it is alleged in abundance. However, the lack of detail concerning an essential legal element is, in the undersigned's opinion, fatal. Okay, so why did a couple of days before he do his ruling did he come out and get rid of 6 charges? There's 13 charges altogether, but 6 he dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So what he did is he came out and gave Trump something and then turned around and give it to Fannie. So you know what I think about this judge? I think he is a freaking coward.
I think the ruling that he made was no ruling at all. It was a cowardly ruling.
It was a cowardly ruling because he still has, how many? 7 more charges.
Exactly.
That he's going to let Fannie Willis take all the way to the wherever.
I think he realizes she has no case. And he's going to let her
make a fool of herself.
Wallow in it. That's right.
Yeah, I can see that happening. And then last night, yesterday afternoon, we had breaking news again on another one of President Trump's cases. The DA, Alvin Bragg, who's in New York City, files for delay in Trump's trial. He files for a delay of up to 30 days in the trial of President Trump over charges related to an alleged hush money payment in stripper Stormy Daniels' case. Jury selection in the case was scheduled to start on March 25th. Bragg charged Trump last April with 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Each count has a maximum sentence of 4 years. 34 counts. It's even ridiculous the amount of counts that they bring against him.
Yeah. Here's the problem I got with all of this Alvin Bragg thing is when he brought the case, he already presented all the evidence, correct?
Yes.
Supposedly.
As
prosecution, you're supposed to do what? Not just acknowledge that you've had this evidence, but you're supposed to present it. You're supposed to bring it.
Yeah, you're supposed to, during discovery.
You're supposed to bring it and turn it all over. Here's what Judge Janine Pirro said about this on the 5 yesterday, and I couldn't agree more with her.
First of all, remember, we are 2 weeks away from the start of the Manhattan trial against Donald Trump. 2 weeks before the trial, the DA himself, Alvin Bragg, says he wants an adjournment because of discovery. Now, in New York, the discovery laws are very clear. If the defense does not get information, normally within 15 days of arraignment, that case is dismissed, finished. In this case, there is such a massive discovery violation against former President Trump. This case has to be dismissed. And not only that, Alvin Bragg has dirty hands. You just read it yourself where you said that the feds looked at this case. Everybody knows the feds looked at this case. So as a result of that, we all know that the feds had records. So the feds just this week delivered 31,000 records yesterday, which should have been delivered within 15 days of arraignment. Next week, there's another batch that's going to be delivered. And after that, there's going to be even more. Now, Alvin Bragg, the man who has pushed for discovery to move it quickly to make sure the defendants get what they're entitled to, he subpoenaed records, too. And when he subpoenaed the records, he only got a, quote, in his own papers, a subset of those records. He knew there were more records. He knew he didn't get everything that he asked for. He knew there was more, and he didn't follow through, and now he wants to blame President Trump. He is totally wrong. In response, the U.S. attorney refused to produce more records, which we disclosed to the defendant. No, you don't disclose it to the defendant. You get those records for the defendant because you are presumed as part of the government to have access to those records as well.
There you go. That's my case right there. And this is why we talk so much about the corruptness of the courts. Okay? Maybe so much it's not that Alvin Bragg did something wrong. Alvin Bragg's an idiot. This has already been proven. But the judge themselves, knowing the 15 days, knowing that discovery is supposed to have all of this produced within 15 days, and if not, we know the outcome of this.
Yes.
Just like with Judge McAfee, just like with this judge, just like with Judge Egeron, the real problem that we have is the corruptness of the judges and the courts.
And not just the judges, but the DAs.
Well, yeah.
I mean, what the heck are they doing? They're not even doing their job. All they're doing is lawfaring President Trump, taking all of his money and all of his time. They are the one that's late. They delayed it. They are they haven't shown up and done their job. The case should be dismissed today. No back, nothing. Dismiss the whole thing.
Well, I get that. Because that is what the law says in the state of New York. That's exactly how it should happen.
It should.
There again, do we give Alvin Bragg too much credit or do we not give him enough credit? Is he really playing a chess game with this, or is he just an idiot?
He's an idiot. He's a useful idiot for the feds.
Exactly.
And that's what all of these people are. All of these judges, all of these DAs, every one of them have been in coordination with the federal government going against President Trump. And guess what that is, everybody? Election interference. So this is what they are doing. Right now, I just think he's a useful idiot. Just like I think Fani Willis is a useful idiot. And she's having her reputation ruined, and she's allowing the federal government to use her like that.
I believe the ruling by Judge McAfee, he's being used as a useful idiot.
Yes, he is.
Because in my opinion, his ruling is no ruling at all. Either you stand on the side of the law and what's right, or you make no ruling at all and you recuse yourself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
But let's move on to the other rock star that plays chess all the time.
He's been busy.
I'm telling
with
you,
lots
man.
of wins here in Texas because you know what? Paxton plays chess.
Ken Paxton would be my vote for the U.S. Attorney General. I'm telling you, when President Trump gets back in office, if he don't throw Ken Paxton up there as a USAG, man, something ain't right in this world.
I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I would be like jealous because Texas really
We would
needs
be,
him.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know of anybody else that would stand up like he does here in Texas. You know, he's the one that's stopping Texas from turning blue.
Well, he's the
Purple.
one that's helping protect Texas
Yes.
in all things, the border
Yes.
and with the election engineering.
All kinds of things.
The
Well, let's see.
invasion.
Let's go through his wins.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. He has filed contempt motions against Frisco ISD for violating restraining order against illegal electioneering.
Frisco is just one out of, 7 or 9? I think it's 7 school districts that he's filed suit against for the election engineering.
Yes. You know, but Frisco ISD violated the restraining order. So he put a restraining order on them. And then they violated it and continued to do the electioneering. So we're going to see where this goes. It's going to be real interesting.
The Colony Ridge is a big story, too. I found this story here, and this is a press release article from the Texas Attorney General's office here in Texas. This is what it says. It says, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has sued the Colony Ridge development in Liberty County for deceptive trade practices, fraud in real estate transactions, and other violations of Texas and federal law. Colony Ridge is a sprawling real estate development northeast of Houston that has expanded quickly in recent years. In an October 2023 letter to members of the United States Congress and fellow Texas leadership, Attorney General Ken Paxton, he noted that the development of the rapid growth has presented major problems. This is what he wrote. He said the development appears to be attracting and enabling illegal alien settlement in the state of Texas and distressing neighboring cities and school districts. Remember, we talked about this back even a couple months back, and we talked about Colony Ridge and how all of the illegals were flowing into there, and they were setting up this. But what were they not doing? They weren't setting up any city infrastructure. All they were doing was being out there and being a drain on another city's resources and the state's resources.
Colony Ridge's business model is predicated on churning land purchasers through a foreclosure mill.
Exactly what I talked about. Remember?
Yes.
I said that. They'll put these people out here on these lands, tell them they're going to sell it to them. The people can't pay for them anyway. They're going to take them back, and it's just going to be a rotation.
A rotation.
They're slumlords is what they are.
Yeah, namely Colony Ridge targets foreign-born and Hispanic consumers with limited or no access to credit, with promises of cheap, ready-to-build land and financing without proof of income.
Part of the
Yeah.
reason of the invasion, because the Democrats want to colonize America.
Yeah, and then they foreclose on the buyer and repossess the land, just like you said, before selling the same plots to other companies, to others who are deceived with the same set of misrepresentations. This has got to be illegal.
It is illegal.
The predatory practices of Colony Ridge have led to a foreclosure rate 50 times greater, 2023 national average.
Yeah. The word predatory is what you said is key in this. It is predatory lending. Predatory lending is illegal.
It is illegal. And, you know, Colony Ridge has been flagrantly violating Texas laws. The development profited from targeting consumers with fraudulent claims and predatory lending practices. Their deceptive practices have created unjust and outsized harms. Nearby communities have borne a tremendous cost for the scheme that made Colony Ridge's developers a fortune.
Exactly. Made the developers rich, and it drained the resources of the communities around them.
Yeah, because you remember back, I believe it was in 2023, when they actually put schools, like to make their schools bigger on the referendum. Remember when they did that?
Cleveland.
Was it Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland did that.
And they were going to bus these people from Colony Ridge to Cleveland school. And what Cleveland said?
They soundly voted it down.
They said, heck no.
Yeah,
soundly did that.
Good for them.
Good for them. I'm
Yeah.
very proud. People are standing up. You know, they're playing their chess moves, man. And this is what we have to do. We have to be ahead of the game.
He also announced a successful raid against an illegal pharmaceutical-grade drug distribution ring in Houston after an investigation by the AG's office Medical Fraud Control Unit.
Yeah, that's pretty big right there. Oh, here, let me point this one out real quick because this one's really big. He also prevailed over Biden's unlawful attempt to redirect money away from border wall construction. The Biden administration has been told to build a wall, that they have to use that money for the construction of a border wall.
Biden don't care what the court says.
No, they don't.
He don't care. Yeah. He ain't going to spend a dime on it. You watch him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this one is the one I want to touch on real quick. Attorney General Ken Paxton wins after pornography companies sued Texas over age verification requirements. This is really big right now because this is referring to Pornhub. Pornhub would not age verify, so they were letting children get on their sites. And Paxton put out a statement yesterday about Pornhub because what happened yesterday is they disabled their website here in Texas. And that's a big win. And so Paxton's statement, he says, Pornhub has now disabled its website in Texas. Sites like Pornhub are on the run because Texas has a law that aims to prevent them from showing harmful, obscene material to children. We recently secured a major victory against Pornhub and other sites that sought to block this law from taking effect. In Texas, companies cannot get away with showing porn to children. If they don't want to comply, good riddance. I agree with him 100%.
Here's the next thing we ought to push. Quit letting kids attend drag shows with their parents.
That is another thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if he sees that around anywhere, he's going to be doing something about it. But those are wins from President Trump and our Attorney General Ken Paxton.
Here's one of the last things we're going to mention today about checkers and chess. And this is from a post-millennial article that we've seen this week. It was really cool because, we started this whole little deal about checkers and chess on Monday. One of the things that the Democrats played chess with us back in 2020, and they were going to try to do it again this year, was the ballot harvesting. They out-chess maneuvered us with ballot harvesting in 2020. We can say what we want. Yes, there was a lot of cheating going on. The election was stolen from Donald Trump. We know that. One of the ways that it was done was through the mail ballots and the legal ballot harvesting that went on.
Yes. Yeah. What she says, though, in here, in quotes, she says, we've been playing checkers and the Democrats have been playing chess. Now, this comes out Wednesday when we seen it for the first time after we've been talking about checkers versus chess
For 2 days.
For 2 days. So we thought this was great because we helped set a narrative. And it brought to attention what is really going on. And that is that the Democrats play chess and the Republicans don't. They just, go along to play along pretty much. And they follow the Democrats in everything they do.
Controlled opposition.
Very much so controlled opposition. But she says on here, as the 2024 election season now pivots to the general election, with Joe Biden and Donald Trump both becoming their respective parties' presumptive nominees on Tuesday evening, Lara Trump, the new co-chair of the Republican National Committee, urged that legal ballot harvesting be used by the party to defeat Democrats in November. Finally.
Yep.
Finally, we're on board. Why did it take so long? You know why it took so long? Because we had to get rid of Ronna McDaniel. And then she goes on to say, we've been playing checkers. The Democrats has been playing chess. Unfortunately, we don't have 1 day of voting. We don't have paper ballots. We don't have voter ID everywhere. So we have to play the hand that we're dealt. That way, we have votes banked as we head into the election. And we're not playing catch up at the end.
Finally, the Republicans are finally beginning to play chess. Is this thing working?
Rise up.
Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there.
Denise,
And we'll see you next time.
we're out.